What kind of a target is that anyhow?
Sir, that's the ICBM complex at Kotlas.
All right. Designating new target 384.
Oh, jeez. This movie's giving me anxiety.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back to You, Me, and the Movies, and happy Veterans Day.
Gotta love Veterans Day.
We do.
Absolutely.
Gotta give lots of thanks to our veterans out there.
For sure.
And today's movie is a lot more lighthearted one. It's a black comedy from Stanley Kubrick.
Okay.
Dr. Strangelove.
Okay. It doesn't sound like a Veterans Day movie.
It's like a satirical look at the Cold War.
Okay.
Yeah. And we watched Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket for Memorial Day, so I thought it'd be best to do another Stanley Kubrick for
keep rolling
Veterans
with
Day.
it.
Kind of the theme for the year, right?
All right.
But doesn't sound like a war movie to you?
No.
Dr. Strangelove?
Sounds like a Young Frankenstein sort of movie to me. Like Mel Brooks probably directed it, right? Yeah. Guess
okay.
not.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's as Mel Brooks. It's more Stanley Kubrick, dark comedy. Kind of how, like, Full Metal Jacket was kind of funny.
Yeah, really weird, funny.
Yeah. This one leads more towards comedy, though.
Okay.
So thought we'd take a lighthearted approach to the seasons.
Can't wait to see what it's like.
So yeah, are you ready to get your Strangelove on?
I suppose so.
Well, let's do it.
But first, like, comment, subscribe, come hang out with us for Dr. Strangelove, and if you know any veterans, thank them.
Yeah, thank all the veterans out there. And check out our Patreon link down below if you want early access to our videos, fun comment, or access to polls, helps people watch next. Links down there. Check it out. Let's watch Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
It's a mouthful. It is the stated position of the U.S. Air Force that their safeguards would prevent the occurrence of such events as are depicted in this film. Furthermore, it should be noted that none of the characters portrayed in this film are meant to represent any real persons, living or dead. Disclaimer. Right out of the gate.
For more than a year, ominous rumors had been privately circulating among high-level Western leaders that the Soviet Union had been at work on what was darkly hinted to be the ultimate weapon, a doomsday device.
Where they build them?
Nuclear bomb, I'm guessing? Peter Sellers. George C. Scott.
Yeah. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Okay. James Earl Jones?
I feel like we're invading on these airplanes' privacy here.
They're really making love, aren't they?
Yeah.
Good for them.
This is General Ripper speaking.
Yes, sir.
You recognize my voice, Mandrake?
I do, sir. Why do you ask?
Why do you think I ask? You don't think I'd ask if you recognized my voice unless it was pretty damned important, do you, Mandrake? It looks like we're in a shooting war.
Hell.
I want you to transmit Plan R for Robert, to the wing. Plan R for Robert.
Is it that bad, sir?
It looks like it's pretty hairy.
Yes, sir.
It's not a drill.
I want all privately owned radios to be immediately impounded.
Yes, sir.
They might be used to issue instructions to saboteurs. As I previously arranged, Air Police will have lists of all owners, and I want every single one of them collected without exception.
It's not ideal.
How are they going to listen to music?
It seems like a First Amendment infringement or something.
The right to dance?
That's the First Amendment? Right to dance?
It's a joke.
It's a good
taking
one.
their radios. Now they can't cut a rug.
I think they're talking about ham radios, not like
Personal radios.
radios.
America's Strategic Air Command maintains a large force of B-52 bombers airborne 24 hours a day. Each B-52 can deliver a nuclear bomb load of 50 megaton, but they have one geographical factor in common. They are all 2 hours from their targets inside Russia.
That's why they're getting refueled constantly in air.
It's crazy. Man, typical man.
Great when the centerfolds are horizontal, you don't have to go like this. What's that mean?
No idea. You just passed it, dude. Wing attack. Plan R.
He was on that page when he opened it, right? He flipped it back.
I know you think this is crazy, but I just got a message from base over the CRM 114. And he called his wing attack Plan R. R for Romeo.
No, Robert.
How many times have I told you guys that I don't want no horsing around on the airplane?
I'm not horsing around, sir. That's how it decodes.
Well, I've been to one World Fair, a picnic, and a rodeo, and that's the stupidest thing I ever heard come over a set of earphones.
There's James. That's James Earl Jones. Yeah. Oh, he's
very young in this.
Strapping.
Oh, there's just gotta be something wrong. Wait a second, I'm coming back.
Plan R is serious. They're all just shoving their face.
Triple check, quadruple check.
Maybe you better get a confirmation from base.
Yes, sir.
He's putting his helmet in the safe?
Well, boys, I reckon this is it. Nuclear combat toe-to-toe with the Ruskies.
Oh, boy.
So he's got a cowboy hat in his safe just like me.
If he's going down, he's wearing his cowboy hat.
Yeah, he should really get
headphones.
Headphones that...
Hatphones.
Yeah, like... It's
It'd be
comfier.
way more comfortable.
Yeah.
This thing turns out to be half as important as I figured it just might be. I'd say that you're all in line for some important promotions and personal citations when this thing's over with.
Commendations are at hand. Well, I'm at attention.
Hello? Oh, yes, General Turgidson is here, but I'm afraid he can't come to the phone at the moment. Well, this is his secretary, Miss Scott. The thing is, the general is in the powder room right now. Could you tell me what it's about?
She sounds like she's intimate with this guy, too.
Oh. All communications are dead.
Ball. Tell him to do it himself.
I see. He says he's tried personally several times, but everything is dead. Even the normal phone lines are shut down.
Base is on lockdown.
I just thought I might mosey over the war room for a few minutes, see what's doing over there. You just start your countdown, and old Bucky will be back here before you can say, blast off.
How long's the countdown?
I don't know.
First, trust no one.
I don't know. Those are just personal radios.
Unless he is
Oh, boy.
Nope.
This guy's lost it.
Anyone or anything that approaches within 200 yards of the perimeter is to be fired upon.
Is he high?
I have always expected the best from you, and you have never given me anything less than that. Today, the nation is counting on us. We are not going to let them down.
He found a personal radio hidden away. Also looked like his lunch was in there, too.
Here's the attack profile, sir.
Each crewman has their own,
orders.
Set.
Lock code prefix.
Code prefix locked.
Switch all receiver circuits to CRM discriminators.
All circuits switch to CRM discriminators.
It's serious business.
I wish I kind of knew what the hell they're talking about.
30 megaton nuclear device fused for airburst at 10,000 feet.
They're doing an air burst.
I thought I issued instructions for all radios on this base to be impounded.
Well, you did indeed, sir, and I was in the process of impounding this very wide when I happened to switch it off.
Oh, and it's just playing music. Like an idiot. Is he a Russian asset?
The officer exchange program does not give you any special prerogatives to question my orders.
I realize that, sir, but I thought you'd be rather pleased to hear the news. And let's face it, we don't want to start a nuclear war unless we really have to, do we?
Well, this guy does, apparently.
What about the plane, sir? Surely we must issue the recall code immediately. General Ripper, sir, as an officer in Her Majesty's Air Force, it is my clear duty, under the present circumstances, to issue the recall code upon my own authority and bring back the wing. You'll probably excuse me, sir.
He locked the door.
I'm afraid, sir, I must ask you for the key and the recall code. Have you got them handy, sir?
There's nothing anybody can do about this thing now. I'm the only person who knows the three-letter code group.
Then I must insist, sir, that you give them to me.
I'm having a hard time finding the humor in this movie so far.
Do I take it, sir, that you are threatening a brother officer with a gun?
Yeah.
War is too important to be left to politicians. They have neither the time nor the inclination for strategic thought. I can no longer sit back and allow communist infiltration and the international communist conspiracy to sap and impurify all of our precious bodily fluids.
So he's the one that ordered Kennedy to be killed? Is that what I'm picking up?
What?
I don't fucking know what's happening here.
Well, he's right. They're all in the war room.
Right. Now, General Turgidson, what's going on here?
Turd?
Mr. President,
General Turd?
now the central display of Russia will indicate the position of the planes. The aircraft will begin penetrating Russian radar cover within 25 minutes.
I was under the impression that I was the only one in authority to order the use of nuclear weapons.
That's right, sir. You are the only person authorized to do so. It's beginning to look like General Ripper exceeded his authority.
You shit?
Plan R is an emergency war plan in which a lower echelon commander may order nuclear retaliation after a sneak attack if the normal chain of command has been disrupted. You approved it, sir, you must remember.
Sneak attack and the chain of command's been disrupted?
Then why haven't you radioed the planes countermanding the go code?
Well, I'm afraid we're unable to communicate with any of the aircraft.
Why?
One of the provisions of Plan R provides...
To lock down communication.
Now, in order to prevent the enemy from issuing fake or confusing orders, CRM 114 is designed not to receive at all, unless the message is preceded by the correct three-letter code group prefix.
Oh, boy.
However, we are plowing through every possible three-letter combination of the code. But since there are 17,000 permutations, it's going to take us about 2.5 days to transmit them all.
How soon did you say the planes would penetrate Russian radar?
20 minutes.
About 18 minutes from now, sir.
18 minutes now.
Where did you get all this information?
General Ripper called Strategic Air Command Headquarters shortly after he issued the go code. I have a portion of the transcript of that conversation if you'd like me to read it.
Read it.
I gotta waste 10 minutes reading it. We know I don't like time-sensitive situations.
They are on their way in, and no one can bring them back. For the sake of our country and our way of life, I suggest you get the rest of SAC in after them. Otherwise, we will be totally destroyed by Red retaliation. My boys will give you the best kind of start. So let's get going. There's no other choice. Through the purity and essence of our natural fluids.
What's with him and his fluids?
We're still trying to figure out the meaning of that last phrase, sir.
There's nothing to figure out, General Turgidson. This man is obviously a psychotic.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to hold off judgment on a thing like that, sir, until all the facts are in.
When you instituted the human reliability tests, you assured me there was no possibility of such a thing ever occurring.
Well, I don't think it's quite fair to condemn a whole program because of a single slip-up, sir.
General Faceman.
How many sticks of juicy fruit has he put in his mouth now?
4 or 5.
Hello. I told you never to call me here. Don't you know where I am? Well, look, baby, I can't talk to you now, but my president needs me.
Secretary.
This is the most appalling movie I've ever seen.
I deeply respect you as a human being.
Oh.
Someday I'm gonna make you Mrs. Buck Turgidson.
Buck Turgidson. What a gross name.
Don't forget to say your prayers.
His face.
With all due respect for your defense team, my boys can brush them aside without too much trouble.
Mr. President, there are one or two points I'd like to make, if I may.
Go ahead, General.
One.
Those lines, those dots are getting closer to Russia.
We would therefore prevail and suffer only modest and acceptable civilian casualties from the remaining force, which would be badly damaged and uncoordinated.
General, it is the avowed policy of our country never to strike first with nuclear weapons.
Well, Mr. President, I would say that General Ripper has already invalidated that.
That ship sailed.
But it is necessary now to make a choice, to choose between two admittedly regrettable, but nevertheless distinguishable post-war environments. But I do say no more than 10 to 20 million killed, tops, depending on the breaks. Perhaps it might be better, Mr. President, if you were more concerned with the American people than with your image in the history books.
General Turgidson, I think I've heard quite sufficient from you. Thank you very much.
Trying to, make this attack okay after the fact.
Yeah.
Am I to understand the Russian ambassador is to be admitted entrance to the war room? I don't know exactly how to put this, sir, but are you aware of what a serious breach of security that would be? I mean, he'll see everything. He'll see the big board.
That is precisely the idea, General. That is precisely the idea. Staines, get Premier Kissoff on the hotline.
Premier Kissoff. The comedy is they're bogged down with the system.
It's so dark, though. I'm having a hard time digesting. It hits a little closer to home than I was thinking. It just feels.
You just need to learn to stop worrying and love the
bureaucratic incompetence at its finest. Oh God! With time sensitivity. This is my nightmare.
1 miniature combination Russian phrase book and Bible. $100 in rubles. $100 in gold.
Because they go down.
1 issue of prophylactics. 3 lipsticks. 3 pair of nylon stockings. Shoot, a fella could have a pretty good weekend in Vegas with all that stuff.
What's the nylons and lipstick for?
In case they need to pretend to be women.
Your eggs, and they are fresh?
Oh, yes, sir.
I will have poached eggs. And bring me some cigars.
It's a flippin' buffet down here in the war room of the Pentagon.
Try one of these Jamaican cigars, Ambassador. They're pretty good.
We don't have time to eat here.
You're gonna let that lousy commie punk vomit all over us like this?
Mr. President?
We haven't been able to reach Premier Kissoff.
This is a nightmare.
What did you say? I said Premier Kissoff is a degenerate atheist. Mr. President, I formally...
I think they're trying the number.
You filthy bully, you filthy... You sell you guy! I'll taste your grass even more, eh? You war muttering bully.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
There's no fighting in the war room.
No.
Sweets, Mr. Commie. Look at this, Mr. President. This lousy commie rat was taking pictures with this thing of the big board.
Gentlemen, this is outrageous. I have never heard of such behavior in the war room before.
Mr. President, I think they're getting him on the line.
Where are we at now? Oh, these are the people going to attack the base.
Oh.
Gee, those trucks sure look like the real thing, don't they?
I wonder where they got them from.
Probably bought them from the army as war surplus.
Lots of gum used in this movie, huh?
Mm-hmm. Gum and cigars.
Da. Хорошо. Понятно, товарищ председатель. I've done as you asked. Be careful, Mr. President. I think he is drunk.
Maybe I'll speak Russian so we know what he said.
Listen, I can't hear too well. Do you suppose you could turn the music down just a little? Yes. Fine, I can hear you now, Dmitri.
All the generals are listening in.
Fine. I'm coming through fine too, eh? Good, then...
No one else worry about the time here?
Say, we're both coming through fine. Good. Well, it's good that you're fine, then, and I'm fine. I agree with you. It's great to be fine. Well, listen, how do you think I feel about it? Can you imagine how I feel about it, Dmitri? Why do you think I'm calling you? Just to say hello? Of course I like to speak to you. Time, Dmitri. I'm just calling up to tell you something terrible has happened. It's a friendly call. Of course it's a friendly call.
It's a friendly call, but we're gonna drop nukes on you soon.
Dmitri. Listen, I've been all over this with your ambassador. It is not a trick. We're just gonna have to help you destroy them, Dmitri. I know they're our boys.
General Turtonson's not happy with that.
I'm sorry too, Dmitri. I'm very sorry. All right, you're sorrier than I am. But I am sorry as well. I am as sorry as you are, Dmitri.
You're prettier. No, you're prettier.
Full of being just as sorry as you are. So we're both sorry, all right? All right.
Da? Da? Что? What? I'm Eugene, naturally. Нет. Не может быть.
Does anybody know Russian?
До свидания.
Oh, that's not a good phrase.
What's happened? The Doomsday Machine.
The Doomsday Machine? What is that?
Doesn't
The
sound good.
device which will destroy all human and animal life on Earth.
The Russians have the Doomsday Machine?
Apparently. It's like the Death Star, huh?
Have you ever seen a commie drink a glass of water?
This guy's nuts.
It's all about the fluids.
Mandrake, water is the source of all life. 7/10 of this Earth's surface is water. Why do you realize that 70% of you is water?
Such an impressive parallel.
I drink only distilled water or rainwater and only pure grain alcohol.
Well, it did occur to me, Jack, yes.
What's his deal?
Have you ever heard of a thing called fluoridation? Fluoridation?
Oh, gosh.
Do you realize that fluoridation is the most monstrously conceived and dangerous communist plot we have ever had to face?
Oh boy.
Go and play a dead game, soldier.
How is he not hit? This general was talking about fluoride in the water in 1963.
Oh yeah, it's still a problem. It's a problem then, it's a problem now. And you're kooky if you talk about it, apparently.
The Doomsday Machine is designed to trigger itself automatically.
But surely you can disarm it somehow?
No, it is designed to explode if any attempt is ever made to untrigger it.
Automatically?
It's an obvious comic trick, Mr. President. We're wasting valuable time. Look at the big boy. They're getting ready to climb.
Did he mean to fall down?
Dr. Strangelove, do we have anything like that in the works?
A moment, please, Mr. President.
Under the authority granted me as Director of Weapons Research, and that this idea was not a practical deterrent for reasons which at this moment must be all too obvious.
Then you mean it is possible for them to have built such a thing?
The Doomsday Machine is terrifying. It's simple to understand and completely credible and convincing.
Gee, I wish we had one of them Doomsday Machines, Dainty.
Oh, God.
Wall of shape
Strangelove.
can store all the information.
What kind of a name is that? That ain't no crowd name, is it, Stain?
He
changed it when he became a citizen. It used to be Merkwürdig
Not crowd by any other name, most of it.
He's a German scientist.
The whole point of the Doomsday Machine is lost.
I think one of the Nazi ones or one
If
of
you
the...
keep it a secret, why didn't you tell the world, eh?
It was to be announced at the party congress on Monday. As you know, the Premier loves surprises.
You need to announce the Doomsday device before you activate it. Peace is our profession.
They're killing each other.
The Doomsday device is just assured mutual destruction. Or, not even mutual, all destruction, right?
Stay with me, Mandrake.
Have you realized that Mandrake, the President, and Dr. Strangelove are all Peter Sellers?
Oh, they're all Peter Sellers? I was confused because I was like, this guy's Peter Sellers.
Yeah. He's the most obvious looking one.
And then I saw Dr. Strangelove and I was like, oh, he's Peter Sellers. But so maybe this guy isn't Peter Sellers. Maybe I'm confused about who Peter Sellers is. And then I'm like, I apparently don't know who Peter Sellers is at all.
Studies underway to fluoridate. So
This is what I see when I think Peter Sellers. The Pink Panther guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know when fluoridation first began?
No.
1946.
How does that coincide with your post-war commie conspiracy?
The commies did it, or did the Nazis do it?
Oh, that was after the war.
I first became aware of it, Mandrake, during the physical act of love. Yes, a profound sense of fatigue, feeling of emptiness followed. Luckily, I was able to interpret these feelings correctly.
Post-nut clarity.
Loss of essence.
Loss of essence.
Women sense my power, and they seek the life essence. I do not avoid women, Mandrake, but I do deny them my essence.
He has gone completely crazy.
But apparently his body has been cleared of fluoride.
Oh, they're surrendering.
The boys must have surrendered.
Well, there it is.
Those boys were like my children, Mandrake. Now they let me down.
No, Jack, not a bit of it. No, I'm sure they all gave it their very best. And I'm equally sure they all died thinking of you. Every man Jack of them. Jack.
He just wants to get the code from him.
You know, those clowns outside are going to give me a pretty good going over in a few minutes.
My advice to you, Jack, is to give me the code now. And if those devils come back and try and erupt stuff, we'll fight them together, boy, like we did just now on the floor, eh? You with your gun, and me with the belt and the ammo, feeding you, Jack. Feed me, you said, and I was feeding you, Jack.
He's really trying to talk him off this ledge.
I happen to believe in a life after this one. I know I'll have to answer what I've done.
Oh, shit.
I think I can.
Yes, well, of course you can, Jack.
He thinks he can.
Listen, that's what we need, Jack. Water on the back of the neck and the code. Now, supposing I play a little guessing game with you, Jack, boy. I'll try and guess what the code is.
Well, there goes the code.
And that works out to roughly 7 hours, 15 minutes endurance from this time.
Must be a smooth flight. They got cups just sitting on a table like that.
Totally.
No turbulence.
Approximate speed, Mach 3. Looks like a missile tracking us. Confirmed, definite missile track. Commence evasive action right.
Hold on to your coffee, boys.
Missile still tracking and closing distance.
Russian or American missile? I was just close enough to hit him a little bit. Oh boy. You have the Arctic Ocean there?
I have no idea.
You're a good pilot.
Peace on earth. Peace on earth. P-O-E. Purity of essence. O-P-O-E.
POE.
Look, I don't know what sort of stupid game this is you're playing, but I've got a very good idea what the recall code is, and I have to get in touch with SAC headquarters immediately. Now, look, Colonel Bat Guano, if that really is your name.
Bat Guano.
It's some sort of recurrent theme he kept repeating. It's a variation on peace on earth or purity of essence. E-O-P-O-P-E. It's one of those.
O-P-E?
P-O-E. Oh, it's O-P-E, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what they put on the code for the plane.
All right, Charlie, I've been wasting too much time on you. I got a lot of wounded men outside. Start walking.
This guy's gonna hold down Mandrake so he can't get the codes in time. Uh-oh.
All that shit's fried.
So they couldn't receive a signal if they wanted to.
The radio is gone and we're leaking fuel. If we was flying any lower, why we need sleigh bells on this thing. This height, why they might harpoon us, but they dang sure ain't gonna spot us on no radar screen.
Harpoon us.
Wonder where their target is.
I don't know.
Colonel, I must know what you think has been going on here.
You want to know what I think?
Yes.
I think you're some kind of deviated prevert. I think General Ripper found out about your preversion, that you were organizing some kind of mutiny of preverts. Now move!
Preverts?
I am General Ripper's executive officer, so the president will bloody well want to speak to me, won't he? There's a telephone box over there, and the line may be open.
You want to talk to the president of the United States?
Oh, Jesus.
If you try any preversions in there, I'll blow your head off.
What are preversions?
I don't know what a preversion is in his mind. Pretty sure he's calling him a pervert, though, right?
No, I'm perfectly serious, operator. The president, yes, the president of the United States. Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't got enough change. Could you make this a collect call, operator?
Shoot. Hopefully he accepts the charges.
Colonel, that Coca-Cola machine, I want you to shoot the lock off it. There may be some change in there.
That's private property.
Shoot with a gun! That's what the bullets are for, you twit!
I'm gonna get your money for you. But if you don't get the President of the United States on that phone, you know what's gonna happen to you?
What?
You're gonna have to answer to the Coca-Cola Company.
Got a free drink out of it.
Oh.
The recall code OPE is being acknowledged Roger by elements of the 843.
Thank God.
Mandrake got through.
These are the details. Missions 12, 22, 30, and 38 are reported destroyed by enemy action. All other missions have acknowledged recall code.
Except for that one plane that's flying below the radar and has no communication.
I'm not a sentimentalist at all by nature, but I think I know what's in every heart in this room.
This guy needs to be fired.
Sir, Premier Kissoff's calling again, and he's hopping mad.
Did they detect the plane then? Is that?
He says that one of the planes hasn't turned back. He says, according to information forwarded by our air staffs, it's headed for the missile complex at Laputa.
Look at the big board. 34 planes, 30 recalls acknowledged, and 4 splashes. And one of them was targeted for Laputa.
They didn't splash.
Dimitri, look, we've got an acknowledgement from every plane except the 4 you've shot down. Oh.
They only shot down 3.
He says their air defense now only claims 3 aircraft confirmed. The 4th may only be damaged.
Probably the one going for Caputa.
Look, if this report is true and the plane manages to bomb the target...
It was an accident.
Well, I guess you're just gonna have to get that plane, Dimitri. Dimitri, I'm sorry that jamming your radar and flying so low, but they're trained to do it. You know, it's initiative.
They're good pilots.
Dimitri, there's no point in you getting hysterical at a moment like this.
Can we evacuate the base?
No, the doomsday machine's gonna go off. Automatically.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Dimitri. Put everything you've got into those 2 sectors and you can't miss.
I estimate we only have 38 minutes flying time, which will not even take us as far as the primary.
Well, shoot. We ain't come this far just to dump this thing in the drink. What's the nearest target opportunity?
Uh-oh. Changing targets.
Sir, if the rate of loss does not increase, we have a chance to reach target 384.
What kind of a target is that anyhow?
Sir, that's the ICBM complex at Kotlas.
All right. Designating new target 384.
Oh, jeez.
Give me a rough head note.
This movie's giving me anxiety.
Is there really a chance for that plane to get through?
Mr. President, if I may speak freely. The Rusky talks big, but frankly, we think he's short of know-how. I mean, you just can't expect a bunch of ignorant peons to understand a machine like some of our boys. And that's not meant as an insult, Mr. Ambassador. I mean, if the pilot's good, see? I mean, if he's really sharp, he can barrel that baby in so low. I mean, you ought to see it sometime. It's a sight. Vroom! It's jet exhaust frying chickens in the barnyard.
Yeah, but has he got a chance?
Has he got a chance? Hell, you...
Read the room.
He's proud of his pilots.
Yeah.
These guys are just doing their job.
Captain, approaching target at distance 10 miles. Switch from green grid to target orange.
Roger. Ready for final bomb run check.
Hopefully it's jammed. Something's jammed in there.
Reflection. Detonator set to 0 altitude.
Detonator set to 0 altitude.
I thought they're supposed to do an airburst. That wouldn't be 0, would it?
I don't know.
Second safety release.
That's a lot of switches.
Mm-hmm.
Through 4.
Bomb door circuits. Negative function. Lights red.
Doors won't open.
Still negative, sir. The operating circuits are dead, sir.
Does that mean the bomb's gonna go off in the plane?
Stay on the bomb run, Mace. I'm going down below and see what I can do.
Roger.
Unless they kamikaze, I don't see that happening.
Hi there, and dear John.
Just hanging out with some nukes. Let's just bail on this project, you know?
Target orange grid reference checks. Target distance 8 miles.
8 miles will get there in like
a minute.
Yeah. This pilot knows this plane like the back of his hand.
Oh no.
Hey, what about Major Kong?
Oh no.
That's one of the most iconic scenes in film, though. going down with the bomb.
I would not rule out the chance to preserve a nucleus of human specimens. It would be quite easy. At the bottom of some of our deeper mine shafts, radioactivity would never penetrate a mine some thousands of feet deep.
How long would you have to stay down there?
96 years. It's a half-life, so long time.
100 years?
You mean people could actually stay down there for 100 years?
It would not be difficult, mein Führer. Nuclear reactors could...
Mein Führer.
Sorry, Mr. President.
Sorry, Mr. President.
I would hate to have to decide who stays up and who goes down.
Could easily be accomplished with a computer. And the computer could be set and programmed to accept factors from youth, sexual fertility, intelligence, and a cross-section of necessary skills to foster and impart the required principles of leadership and tradition. Actually, they would breed prodigiously, eh? There would be much time and little to do.
Much time and little to do.
A Nazi doctor's dream.
But look here, Doctor, wouldn't this nucleus of survivors be so grief-stricken and anguished that they'd envy the dead and not want to go on living?
You understand what's going on with his arm? That's his bad arm.
It's his bad arm?
Yeah.
And the prevailing motion will be one of nostalgia for those left behind, combined with a spirit of bold curiosity for the adventure ahead.
Just does it naturally.
It's still aligned with a certain faction.
No shit.
Since each man will be required to do prodigious service along these lines, the women will have to be selected for their sexual characteristics, which will have to be of a highly stimulating nature.
I must confess, you have an astonishingly good idea there, Doctor.
Eugenics at its finest, huh?
Yeah, I think it'd be extremely naive of us, Mr. President, to imagine that these new developments are going to cause any change in Soviet expansionist policy. I mean, we must be increasingly on the alert to prevent them from taking over other mine shaft space.
What's he taking a picture of?
The map?
Mr. President, we must not allow a mine shaft gap.
I have a plan. Mein Führer! I can
Don't know when. It's also terrifying, isn't it? That in an instant could all be gone.
Strangely beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, horrifyingly beautiful. I mean, you know, parallels the beauty of life so easily with the beauty of death. The end, made at Shepperton Studios, England, by Hawk Films. Oh boy, that was a tough one for me.
And that's how Fallout starts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, it's just the,
that was tough for me. I couldn't find the humor in it. I was trying, and I understood where it was.
Paranoia-inducing.
Yeah, I understood where the humor was trying to be, but I couldn't get past the horrifying nature of it. Yeah. It's so dark.
Well, it's Stanley Kubrick showing you the strangeness of war and futility of it all.
I still don't think I like Stanley Kubrick very much.
Really?
Yeah, something about his stylings, I don't know.
You liked Full Metal Jacket well enough.
Did I?
Yeah.
I remember being confused a lot about Full Metal Jacket on how to feel.
Yeah, well, I think that was the point, though. Like the duality of man.
And
so you
this is the same. I mean, this is the same. It's a conundrum of a movie, and I mean, same with The Shining too, right? Like it also has like this weird.
I think what it is because it makes you feel the emotions that Kubrick wants you to feel. He does such a good job of making you feel how you're feeling about this movie. That this is exactly what he wanted.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of his art.
Yeah, it's just not enjoyable.
I mean, I don't think Stanley Kubrick ever made a movie to be enjoyable. He made them as art.
Right.
He made them to induce a certain emotional response to him.
Well, if that's what he's going for, then I guess he's doing well. But it's just, I feel so uncomfortable watching all of his movies so far that we've watched. How many have we watched of his?
We've watched The Shining. We've watched 2001.
2001. Full Metal Jacket, and Doctor Strange. Yeah. So at least those 4. In all of those 4, I have felt extremely uncomfortable and had a hard time gauging how I'm supposed to react or how I'm supposed to feel.
Well, if we were to ask Stanley Kubrick if we had that possibility, he'd probably be like very happy with that result.
Yeah, he's like, perfect, nailed it, thanks. Yeah, it's not enjoyable though. That's how I feel. Mm-hmm. Obviously, everyone's allowed their own opinion.
I think that's the
point.
The point, though, and his films require multiple watches to learn to enjoy them. This is like my 3rd time watching this and seeing it. I mean, Peter Sellers has all 3 characters. It's just, especially there at the end, is Strangelove going full Yahtzee on us. So.
Yahtzee?
Yeah, what's the YouTube way? Safe way
to say Nazi? You can't say Nazi on YouTube. It's a factual thing. A Nazi is a thing, right?
It just flags videos.
For talking about Nazis?
I've actually never experienced it, but I know other content creators
maybe they're
avoid
calling people Nazis that aren't actually Nazis. I don't know.
Yeah.
This guy was clearly a Nazi.
I love it. My Führer. I mean, sorry, Mr. President. So, yeah, his hand was still the evil.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
like
a funny way to portray that for sure.
It's like Ash in Evil Dead when he has to cut off his hand.
Yeah.
Still not control of it. Who was your favorite Peter Sellers character, though? The President? Mandrake?
I think Mandrake, just because he was like attempting so hard to like be best friends with this guy, like using all of the psychology,
the circumstances they're in, and
using
trying to
every bit of like personal psychology he could to be like, no, it's great.
Yeah.
I totally understand. Just give me the code; it'll be great. No problem, you know.
And then we both know it. They can't torture us both.
Yeah.
And then he has to deal with the sergeant, who's just like, "I'm here to clean up the mess. I don't know anything that's going on." And he just doesn't want to.
I mean, it's a pretty big statement about the military. I think it's a pretty negative review on how the military operates and
I think
how they can be so
of it all, right? And I think was it Jenna Ripper has that, or was it Ripper or Turkison that said it? That I think it was Ripper when he said that war shouldn't be in the hands of politicians; it should be in the hands of generals. I mean, that's a commentary on war in general.
Sure. I mean, some might argue that it shouldn't be in the hands of generals either. It should be in the hands of the soldiers or something. I don't know. It just gets convoluted and confusing and
and then you have Slim Pickens playing the pilot, the cowboy hat, just trying to be, he's the best he can be, and he accomplishes missions.
Absolutely. He's carrying out his orders and he's
dodges the
fucking
missiles.
Nailing it, right?
Yeah.
I feel
I think it's this film is a conundrum, and it's a conundrum on what the parody of those signs saying our job is peace or whatever. When they're all shooting at each other. It's American soldiers shooting at American soldiers on a base trying to get there.
Yeah.
All the words in this movie are all just satirical.
Do you think veterans like this movie?
I'm sure.
Is this like a movie that people in the military appreciate, or is this a movie that people in the military
It's part of the conundrum. I'm sure
are really annoyed with because
I know veterans have a great sense of humor as well.
Well, sure, yeah,
and
got to.
And I mean, Full Metal Jacket's the same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not
the
a
same way.
pro-war film.
No,
it's about the duality man, but at the same time, I think that's the point of these films is not to show you that war is good, but sometimes you have to fight it, and sometimes it's not your choice.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we have the great men and women of the military to...
upstanding American citizens who are willing to put their life on the line for dumb reasons sometimes.
Done a good enough job so far that we're still able to sit here in our basement in peace and
for sure
watch movies for entertainment or not entertainment for you.
For zero entertainment. Yeah.
I think this is the most, in my opinion, the most unique film by Kubrick. Just for how it's his most straightforward comedy, if that makes any sense. It's really dark comedy.
Yeah, but it knows that it's being humorous about things. And,
everything else is not. It's a serious subject, but it's done so comedically. It's a great balance, I think. So.
Yeah.
Right. The title itself is Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Even the title's a conundrum.
Yeah. Yep, everything about it's confusing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for this.
Yeah, what should people comment on after Dr. Strangelove?
I just know I'm going to get so much hate in the comments. And I'm like,
I think you did a great job reviewing this film.
My confused face the whole time.
That's the point.
Oh my god, I don't know.
I think I did a great job of explaining what Kubrick... that you did exactly... You reacted exactly how Kubrick wanted you to.
I guess so.
So, who's your favorite Peter Sellers character in this movie?
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on Dr. Strangelove? And for the veterans out there, especially.
Like or dislike? Offensive or funny?
It's such a conundrum of a film. So, right?
Thank you so much for hanging out. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service.
Thank you to all our veterans out there. And check out our Patreon link down below if you want early access to our videos, following comment, or access to both. Supchucks, link down there. Check it out. Until next time, have a good one.
Bye.